And we're back, and this is live from the Center for Performing Arts at Rhinebeck, and we're on the set of the fabulous show Les Miserables, and we'll be talking to Diana DeGrande, the producer, and Kevin Archambault, Prince Kevin, who is the director and choreographer. The show actually opened in July. This is our August show, but it's running into August, so we thought we'd double up, make sure that you know about it and you come. This is opening night. We're taping this on Friday, July the 18th, and this is the set for Les Miserables. It's actually rather impressive. And what we are sitting on right now is a turntable, and it spins around with bodies and barricades, and at least that's the plan, correct? Yeah. Nah. No, it actually does. It's fabulous. But just so you think we're not all musical comedy, which some people think we are, we have two wonderful things happening in the month of August. And the first is Leanne Kowalski, who is sitting here to my right, and she is bringing back the show that she did last year, The Thing About Art. See, now the first year you were with Elaine, right? And what was the title of that show? Did we call it?
Lineage of Love.
Lineage of Love. And now we have The Thing About Art C back for a second time. Now, I understand this is conceived and produced pretty much by you and Danby Project.
That's correct.
But you have a host of choreographers, and two of them are with you. You are choreographing, correct?
Yes.
And you are choreographing. And you are Alex, and your last name, Alex, is?
Bloomstein.
Bloomstein, Alex Bloomstein. And April, is that correct?
Yes.
And your last name is?
Dale.
Dale. And what are you doing? So what are you doing? What new work are we going to see from you?
Well, I'm producing the show, but I'm also choreographing a new work for the show and dancing in the show. My piece this year has a large set of dancers, and it is a very salsa-infused piece of contemporary dance.
Uh-huh.
And then over here, April's got something on the works for us as well.
Yes, also new. I'm using 5 dancers, and it's based on, embarrassingly enough, a dream that I had, but the theme largest is going to be off balance and falling.
Off balance and falling.
We're practicing on the turntable.
Yes, you should. And you'll do very well by it, believe me. So you want to tell us about this dream? Is it the kind of dream you can share on television?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
So in my dream, I was in like a cathedral space, sort of, like up on a balcony, and I was looking for something, and in the process of looking, I actually fell off of the balcony and landed on like a very hard surface. But even though I like withstood this horrible thing, I sort of like left my body behind. It was very transformative.
You didn't die in this dream.
I didn't.
No, you can't.
Or
die
maybe
in this
I
dream.
did.
No, I don't
but,
think you can. Yeah.
But I kept going, which is pretty.
So this became the basis of falling and stumbling as an art form.
Correct.
That's great. I think that's fabulous. And what are you doing, Alex?
I'm also doing a new piece. I'm pretty much always do new pieces when I work with Leanne. I'm working with 6 of her dancers, and I'm mixing something that I used to do a lot that I sort of left behind some years ago. I'm mixing words, sort of text, poetry, and dancing, and I'm using 2 poems and 2 separate pieces of music and 6 dancers. But the poetry is prose poetry. It's contemporary American poet named James Tate. And it's prose poetry. It's not, rhythmic.
It's not rhyme couplets.
It's not rhyme couplets.
Got it. And so it is spoken, and somebody is speaking it for you, or is it canned? Do you have a body on stage doing it?
Yes, it's going to be live. The 2 of the dancers will be reciting the poems at various points during the piece.
While they're dancing?
Well, not necessarily. Well,
They
you
can
consider
stop.
it dancing.
Because
yes.
if they're like actors, it's very hard to walk and talk at the same time. Yeah. Well, that's great. And who else? You have a lot of other people in
We
here.
do have a lot.
Abby Saxon is.
Abby Saxon
Is
will
she
be back.
doing? What is she doing? Is she
She's
doing
doing a new jazz piece in the style of Danny Burcheski.
I love that
And-
stuff. That Hollywood Canteen number that she does is just
Oh my gosh,
out of
to
sight.
die for.
I love it.
Yes, very high energy, lots of
Yeah,
moving, jumping, swirling around, large cast, a lot of fun. And then we sort of counter the program with, there's a brand new Hawkins-style solo that's going to be
That's
coming
Catherine.
out. That's Catherine Duke.
Catherine Duke.
Yep. So it's a really multi-genre performance, and the sort of throughout it, the theme is actually the fact that it's the same group of 10 dancers performing all
So
10
there are
pieces.
only 10 of you,
Yes.
and you all get to choreograph them. And are you dancing as well?
I am not
You're
dancing.
not dancing. Are you dancing?
I am not.
You are not, but you are.
I am.
So you're producing, you're the conceptualizer, you're choreographing, and you're dancing. And this, so you know when it is, it's August 22nd and 23rd at 8 p.m. and then Sunday the 24th at 3 p.m. And a special deal on tickets, $20 general admission, but $10 for children under 12, which is great. You do that every year.
We do indeed.
Yeah. And tell us what's going on with Danby Project.
The D&B project is finishing up a crazy summer for our students. We have had 6 weeks of dance intensives with 10 different guest instructors. And the company, as a performance module, is running all the way through September, performances almost every weekend, all throughout the Northeast. So we're rather busy.
Yeah, and you're up at, you're in Red Hook.
We are in Red Hook, yep,
Yeah.
in Hardscrabble Plaza.
Hardscrabble Plaza.
We get Holy Cow after.
You have a lot of
rehearsal.
students? You have many students?
We have around 30 to 40 students.
That's very good.
Thank you.
That's very good.
And
And you
hardworking.
share that space with somebody?
We don't anymore,
You
actually.
did, though.
We
John
did for a
Grady's
period of
wife
time.
was there
Yes.
for a while.
Yep.
Is she a dancer as well?
She used to be a dancer, yes.
John Grady is on our board of directors, as is Leanne on our board of directors.
Mhm.
Yeah, so in your other life, what do you do?
I also perform dance.
Do you have your own studio?
I do not. I live and work currently in New York City.
In New York? Great. And are you rehearsing or performing in anything now, other than this?
Yes, I have a performance coming up early September for a friend of mine.
Uh-huh.
I'm
And where's
excited
that
to
gonna be?
work with her. That's actually a great question. I'm not.
You don't know where it is yet.
Such
Okay.
is the life of a
But you're in
dancer.
rehearsal. That's fabulous.
Starting soon.
And you have a studio.
I do. I have a studio, ballet art studio in Beacon, New York. It's a conservatory level ballet studio, but we also have modern and jazz, and actually this year, and African, and this year we're adding tap and hip hop and musical theater
Oh, that's
to
fabulous.
our to the classes that we're having. And actually, I just want to note that we're also planning to add this year a pre-professional dance program. We have a number of ballet dancers who are very serious about wanting to be professional ballet dancers. And as you may or may not know, you basically, at a certain age, kind of a young age, 12, 13, 14, you have to decide if that's
Yes.
what you want to do. And if it's what you want to do, you've got to start dancing 5-6 hours every day.
Right.
So we're going to add we're adding a day program this year to the studio where dancers can come and work during the day, and they have to make special arrangements with school or be homeschooled
Right.
or however it's going to be. So we're adding that this year. So my studio is expanding at the moment. down
That's
in
great. That's great. And what is your background? I mean, where did you study?
I studied in New York for many years, then danced in New York, and I was also up at Jacob's Pillow for many years. And while I was in New York, this was many years ago, more years ago than I want to remember, I did a lot of ballet training, and I did a lot of modern training. I studied Graham technique, Martha Graham technique, Cunningham technique, and ballet from major New York teachers in the period, and danced.
And your background, April, where did you study?
I grew up outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Uh-huh.
Grew up dancing there, and I went to college at Point Park University. They have a really wonderful jazz dance program. And then I've been living in New York for the past 5 years or so, continuing to study and audition there.
You
That's
just
great.
got off tour in China, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
You were touring in China?
I was with a company called Lightwire Theater. They do children's theater, which was something I didn't think I would do, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how was the audience? Were they very receptive?
They were.
And they
yeah.
were all Asian. The audience,
Yes.
you
So
toured.
we did about 8 different cities in China over 5 weeks.
That's great. So
Yeah.
you weren't doing like American embassies and touring to Westerners. So how did they take to your Western technique?
They really loved it. Our
Really?
show, pretty specifically, there's no text. All the music is instrumental and sort of like universal themes. So I think it worked really well over there. I think
Oh, that's great.
yeah, it was
That's
really
great.
good, really good.
Before we ask Leanne about herself and what the title of the thing about art, C: means. Again, August 22nd and 23rd, Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. 24th, Sunday at 3 p.m. Tickets $20, general admission $10 for children under 12. You can always call our box office 845-876-3080 Tuesday through Friday between the hours of noon and 5. Saturday 1 to 5. Or you can go online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, www.centerforperformingarts.org. Thing about Art C. What does it mean?
Oh my goodness, that's a huge question.
I know, that's why I asked.
Oh, of course, thank you. I think we chose that title because we wanted this showcase to be a professional dance concert that incorporated a lot of collaboration throughout the arts.
Right.
So last year, Catherine Duke did a Hawkins piece and used 4 8x4 foot paintings that the dancers used within their piece to dance with, essentially. And we have a couple little tidbits like that coming up in this show. But essentially, I think that it means that the thing about artsy is that, yes, dance is one of them, but dance also plays well with a lot of the other arts. And I think we really try to pull that into this concert and present it in that way.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, we know dance, obviously, when we do any of the big musicals, and you choreographed one, so you know the elements of dance there. But that's always kind of considered sometimes as like the stepchild, you know,
Right.
because it's not the high art, the haute art, you know. Catherine, is she Eric Hawkins too? Isn't that what it is, or it's just Eric Hawkins?
It's Eric Hawkins Dance Company.
Yeah, and are they still operating? Is she?
They are actually just coming out of a period of rest.
Right.
The company is being rejuvenated and is back in training. They did a dance intensive at Texas State University back in June, and then they're going to be doing an intensive here coming up locally in the area,
At Casbah?
here at the center.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's something that's happening in October, so she's getting a little ahead of me. Yeah, she's going to be there.
Yes,
That's great.
so the company's sort of getting back into action. They have a full season in the fall coming up down in the city of performances, etc. So they're back.
And your background is?
I studied Irish dance for 15 years.
With Deirdre?
With Deirdre and a few other artists, definitely. And then I started studying modern and some ballet throughout high school and college, and then broke off on my own and started just studying whatever I wanted to go study. You know,
Yeah.
really took upon myself that freedom.
Yeah. And you're also a great producer. I mean, this year you're producing it, last year you produced. And when you did the piece with Elaine, you did an awful lot of that production. as
I
well.
did, yes, yeah.
So she's not only a choreographer and a dancer and a board member, but she's a smart business person, which is great. So the thing about Art C, a choreographer's showcase, August 22 and 23, that's Friday and Saturday, 8 p.m. Sunday, August 24 at 3 p.m. Tickets, $20 general admission, $10 for children 12 and under. It's a great opportunity for children. You go to a movie for $10, so please come here. 845-876-3080, Tuesday through Friday between the hours of noon and 5, Saturday 1 to 5, or always 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. www.centerforperformingarts.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much. We look forward to this, and we'll be back. And we are back, and reminding you again, the thing about Art C, Choreographer Showcase, playing August 22, 23 at 8 p.m. That's Friday and Saturday. Sunday, the 24th at 3 p.m. And tickets are $20 general admission, $10 for children. And as I said, it's not all musical comedy all the time. It's other things. And to my right is one of the premier jazz fellows in the region and in the state and in the country, Mr. John Esposito, whom I haven't seen in over a decade.
It's been over a decade,
It's been a
yeah.
long time. And he is going to be with us on Friday and Saturday, August 29 and 30 at 8 p.m. And he's got the John Esposito Sextet. And you got quite a group of people. The only guy I really know well is Eric Person, who's doing alto and soprano sax, and Greg Glassman, whom I do not know, Stacy Dillard, yourself, Ira Coleman, and Peter O'Brien. Has that changed?
It has not changed. Stacy Dillard and Greg Glassman are two of the best up-and-coming young horn players in New York City right now.
Cool.
Greg is a trumpet player. Stacy plays saxophones. Ira Coleman actually lives close by in Red Hook. You may know him if you've seen any Sting performances on TV recently.
I have, actually.
Ira is the bassist.
Oh, that's
for that.
great.
And he also teaches with me at Bard.
Yeah, which is how we got back to you, because
Yes.
Bill Dowden's boy is in your program? I
Yeah,
think?
he's a talented young bassist.
Yeah, that's great, and that's one of the things we need to talk about for the future. How this originally started
Mhm.
was we wanted to showcase the students but we're a little too early on this.
Yeah.
This is August. Again, this is August 29 and 30. And also, there's more on Sunday, August 31 at 3 p.m. is our good friend David Temple, and he's going to be bringing some of his friends as well. And you're probably wondering who these two people are. So as I said, Les Miserables is a split show. It's 2 weeks in July and 2.5 weeks approximately in August, 5-week run. And we are taping this on the opening night, Friday, July 18th, but this is, again, the August show. This is the set. This is Kevin Archambault, Prince Kevin, who is the director and choreographer. Prince, you used to be a duke or a count. I think I've elevated you
Oh,
somewhere.
as long as I'm elevated.
Yes.
Okay.
And Empress Diana DeGrande, who is the producer. And they'll talk a little bit about the show, but I want to get back to John. So in the 10 years that we haven't seen each other, what have you been doing?
Well, we have
In 50 words or less.
a 5-month-old daughter, so that's the
Whom we
biggest-
just met.
There, Lyra. I've been teaching at Bard. I've been producing records, touring. I have a little record company called Sun Jump Records. We're about to release our 15th CD, which actually will be this band that is performing here. It's
Fabulous.
a double CD of my own compositions.
Will you have them here?
I hope to have it available by that time.
You'll be offering them in the lobby.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
fabulous.
And it's been a variety of different projects on the label, and I have another 10 in various states of undress.
How long have you been at Bard?
I've been teaching at Bard since 2000.
Oh, so it's the last time you were here then, you were on the faculty?
Yes, yes. And before that, I worked in the dance theater department as an accompanist.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Do you have any connections with the people at Vassar as well? Their
I don't.
program?
I don't.
Yeah.
Several of the people who are adjuncts at Bard also are adjuncts at Vassar, but other than that, we don't have a connection.
Yeah. How's the jazz scene in the Valley? Is it thriving? What's it doing?
It's thriving. It's always been here. The last 20 years, it's really taken off. There are a lot of world-class musicians living here.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful place to live, just like for the rest of the arts.
Yeah,
It's really
everybody
great.
thinks that you have to go to New York and always get the New York crowd, but we forget that there's so many people
Yeah.
who are living up here, who work in New York, but they're residing in the Valley. I mean,
Yeah.
there are a lot of folks across the river, a lot of folks here, and it's good to showcase that.
Yeah.
You know?
And the internet makes so much possible
Yep.
now, so
Absolutely.
you can be anywhere, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kevin, this is your opening night, so but you have to pretend like it's already opened, and the reviews have been glowing, and they
course.
will be, and they are.
Yes.
And how do you feel? I mean, this is a fabulous set. You got your turntable all set here, and
Yeah. I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Good.
Very excited.
Good.
It's an incredible cast.
yeah. How many people? 40.
40.
It is exactly 40.
Exactly
it's the
40.
largest cast we've ever had.
It's large.
Yeah. And they sound amazing. They look amazing. Set looks amazing.
Yeah,
And we're
yeah.
just so lucky with all of everybody that's on the production team has been working so hard. And
Yeah.
Just last minute details now here.
Yeah, and you absolutely have to make a reservation for this show. Today is our opening night. I think there are 3 seats left.
Yep.
We never sell out. We haven't sold out an opening night since
Beauty and the Beast,
that's the last time.
an up in one production.
And
yes.
how long ago was that? 8 years?
8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Oh no, it wasn't the last time.
When did we sell out?
Chicago sold out. I mean, I can only speak for my shows because I
Right.
don't know about the oothers. Chicago sold out.
You sold out on an
Spam,
opening night.
No, Spamalot did not
No,
sell
you didn't sell out on an
night.
opening night.
opening
Even
night.
Cats didn't sell out on an opening night. But this is pretty extraordinary.
It is. I mean, it's such a well-known title.
Yeah.
And everyone, the story is well-known.
Yeah.
Of course, the film came out last year, so.
Yeah.
But it's so epic.
It is epic.
The
Yeah.
music is just glorious. Who doesn't want to just fall in love with that again?
Right.
And it certainly doesn't fall in the musical comedy genre.
No, it's not. When I say musical comedy,
No.
you know, this is an opera, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I say musical comedy, musical theater is what I should say. There are other forms of music, obviously. Again, so the Jazz Weekend, Friday and Saturday, August 29 and 30 at 8 p.m. And Sunday at 3 p.m., August 31, with David Temple. Friday and Saturday is the John Esposito Sextet, and tickets are $20 across the board. You can order tickets by calling our box office, 845-876-3080, Tuesday through Friday between noon and 5, and Saturday between 1 and 5, always online, www.centerforperformingarts.org. What are you going to be doing for us? Am I going to be looking forward to something traditional, or am I going to get a blend, a mix and a match? What am I going to get?
It'll be a blend. It's original music. It is music that's mostly swinging.
Cool.
There are chords and beautiful melodies, and there'll be a lot of improvisation. So I think it's a very accessible music,
Yeah.
and I'm excited about presenting it. I'm
Yeah.
actually premiering it here.
This is the okay. So we're going to see brand new works this
Yeah.
night. That's great.
Mhm.
That's great. And your students. I mean, are you finding anything changing in what's going on from like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago?
They're getting younger. I'm getting older.
Well, aside from that, we all know that story. But anything changing in the movement? Any new influences? Anything going on that's
Yeah.
quirky and different?
Yeah, it's really a mix. There's a lot more use of technology.
Mhm.
There a lot more mixing of genres. We don't turn out musicians who are trying to work with the kind of the classic jazz groups, which are almost gone. They're really finding their own way of expressing themselves, and so we give them the basic tools for that, and we encourage a lot of originality, original music.
Yeah.
And it's been working. We have a lot of young artists who are kind of all over the country, but a lot in New York, a lot on the coast, the West Coast,
I
and
mean, your graduates.
the graduates.
Yeah.
They're touring. They're recording. They're doing extremely well.
And is the program very much performance oriented? Do they have many opportunities during the year where they actually perform for?
Yes. Yeah.
And they play at Bard, so it's obviously family, friends, faculty. But do you pull from the non-involved members of the community, people who aren't related to them, people who don't know who they are? I mean, do you get any of those people?
Occasionally, the senior concerts are advertised
They
at
are.
the beginning of the year, so you do get people from the community who come in
Yeah.
to hear those.
And the responses are good?
Are great.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that we're putting this back in, because for years and years and years, jazz fell off our map. Folk music is gone. We've not had any folk here, I think, in like 10 years. We used to do a thing in the early days called From the Edge to the Center, which was new wave rock. That's gone. We don't see any of that anymore. We did a lot of opera for a while, and operetta, and that's gone. We don't see any of that except when we do a show like this. And there have been a couple of other shows that have been more sung than spoken. Spring Awakening, I mean, there wasn't very much dialogue, if there was any dialogue.
Yeah, actually, there's quite a bit.
Quite a
of
bit?
book, but like Jekyll and Hyde.
Like Jekyll and Hyde, mostly
yeah,
sung.
mostly sung. Yeah.
Mostly sung, yeah. That's great. So again, we have the Jazz Weekend, Friday and Saturday, August 29, August 30, 8 p.m., starring the John Esposito Sextet, and as John said, premiering new works, and Greg Glassman, Eric Person, Stacy Dillard, Mr. Esposito himself, Ira Coleman, Peter O'Brien. And then on Sunday, August 31 at 3 p.m., David Temple and friends. And running through the month of August until August 13th, is that your last name?
August 18th.
18th. August 18th, that's a month from today, actually, right?
Yes.
Les Miserables, directed and choreographed by Prince Kevin Archambault, produced by Diana DeGrande, Empress Diana DeGrande.
That's right.
Yes, you can always
better.
order tickets here. 845-876-3080, Tuesday through Friday, 12 to 5. Saturday, 1 to 5. www.centerforperformingarts.org. Please come. Something different, okay? Jazz and dance in the month of August. Thanks so much. See you next month.